Hello, my name is Seun Shokunbi, and I'm here to talk to you about a woman's entrepreneurial journey. Most of the time, the work of a woman entrepreneur is for the benefit of others rather than the woman herself. Society likes to think of us as its caregivers, the one that it takes for granted yet expects to hold the whole house in order. But when a woman decides to assert herself as the breadwinner, oftentimes she's looked down upon or isn't expected to do it with the same level of bravado, audacity, or selfishness as her male counterparts. It's almost as if it's seen as a joke for a woman to want to pursue entrepreneurship simply for her own personal financial freedom or gain. Last year, Inc. magazine reported a 114% increase in women entrepreneurs. Yet the majority of women entrepreneurs today still live in economic instability. That statistic doesn't make sense when another one shows that startups led by women earn 78 cents for every dollar invested in them versus the 31 cents earned by male-owned startups. What other reason could there possibly be for that, other than us not being taken seriously? That same Inc. magazine article cites the Harvard Business Review, which found that women entrepreneurs are disproportionately found in industries that earn significantly lower revenue projections. Watch any episode of Shark Tank, and 9 times out of 10, you'll hear a woman pitching her passion project, her labor of love, the thing that she knows for sure is going to change the world. And that's not to say that we aren't looking at someone who is genuinely excited about her work. It's just that the sharks don't see her passion as the bottom line. But it can't just be about viability because, again, women entrepreneurs are building brands that have a far higher profit margin than their male counterparts. Lyft and Uber, arguably the most profitable or most successful startups, still hasn't earned a profit over the past 7 years. Meanwhile, collectively, both companies raised over $20 billion in investor funding. And guess what? They're the passion projects of men. So the evidence continues to point to us viewing women who love to talk about their work, who love to talk about pursuing entrepreneurship, as cute, as not to be taken seriously, frankly, as a joke compared to other men. And when you think about the economic quagmire that women in places like the US are dealing with, can you imagine what it's like for women of color across the diaspora? I focus on Africa not just because of my lineage, but because of the numbers. Africa is on track to have the largest employable population by far in the world by 2050, and yet we're still not creating enough jobs for them. Add to that the way that patriarchal systems are set up in the continent, and it's less of a microaggressive laughing matter, and more about an extremely violent approach to socioeconomic oppression of women. African women more than African men pursue entrepreneurship, and that ratio is far larger than in any other place in the world. A lot of the times, the women are pursuing it for the same reasons as us. However, their consequences of doing so are much more severe. I don't claim to have the magic wand that's going to magically erase sexism in entrepreneurship across the world. But I do know that we need to look at the facts, and we need to look at the facts more critically before we offer any solution to this problem. Because at one point, entrepreneurship was seen as the solution for women dealing with toxic environments in a corporate setting. Based on the statistics that I showed you, how are we doing with that? There's nowhere else for women to run away from toxic masculinity, and men no longer can afford to ignore a woman's humanity or their economic worth. So if you're gonna look at my pursuit of entrepreneurship as a joke, by all means laugh. I just ask that you laugh with me all the way to the bank, and that you write a check while you're at it. Thank you.